So we've got 40 minutes coming your way. We'll play 20 minutes. We'll have a break and we'll get underway for the final 20 minutes. But this is New South Wales on the bring back mission. And that was Duckett. So fantastic jerseys as well. A lot of hand detail has gone into them through the designers and the graphics. So exceptional work by everybody involved. Spectacular jerseys for our championships. So the tiniest knock-ons though for New South Wales coming outside their own 40-metre line. They went for the big barge. But as we were about to see here on the replay, look at that tremendous defence over the top, just equal to the challenge and just jolted the ball free. So Victoria, an ideal situation for them with only 2 minutes gone in this first half of rugby league, as Layfield about to put the ball into the scrum. Distributed nicely there by Udagula, but then unfortunately for them, they've just come up with a costly error through Monica Moore. So we'll have a scrum packing down, and this is the error here. It was just trying to get that ball away quickly there, wasn't it? And just didn't quite go the way that the Victorians would have expected. So this time an identical scrum, just a couple of metres away from our first scrum only moments ago, but New South Wales are going to come away with it and show everybody what they've got here this afternoon. Here's Whelan down the sideline, beats one, caught away from another. What a run there by the electrifying winger in Whelan. And now she's got a penalty for her efforts as well. So they've gone bang bang here with the scrum and the penalty. Referee just telling Sherrington to have another crack here. So the tackle count's restarted. Hopkins. Back it comes to Sherrington. From Payne to Kennedy. Got the big headgear on. There's Sherrington. Hopkins. Oh, they're only a metre or so away from the line. Hiku calling for it. Doesn't go to big Hiku. Off the hip. Beautiful, beautiful first try. So New South Wales City just barged their way over, and there you go. There's your try scorer in the middle of the screen. We're about to have a look at it here on the NRL.com.au replay. They looked to go right, but the big shift came to the left. And Big Payne, jersey 10 on her back, just barging away over from close proximity to give New South Wales first blood against their rivals in Victoria. So here's Whelan. Ball placed 18 metres out. And she'll be looking to bring this one back around with the breeze, but not on this occasion. So 4 minutes gone in the first half. 4 points to nil. New South Wales City over Victoria. We'll be back for the kickoff very shortly. So we're back here at the Moreton Daily Stadium for NRL.com, thanks to our good friends at Harvey Norman, our sponsor of this great festival of football. Over 4 brilliant days coming your way. And that's indeed what it is. Jumping castles all around the ground. Great atmosphere for families to bring their young kids down to watch what these terrific women are displaying right across our park. From the early get-go, it's been Sensational day so far, and it will only get better, and the action will only heat up with every tackle and every catch. Hayakoa now trying to rumble herself inside the 10. Here's Braben. Layfield. They've gone for the intercept, and they've come up with it. Here's Whelan running over halfway. Has she got the gas? Robinson. She's put more football over the line than anyone else that we've seen in rugby league, and she's done it here again today. Well, Robinson, she's had a tear-away game in OzTag and every other competition that she's put her hands on. And look at this. It was beautiful work by Jessica Whelan. The chasers were coming, but all of a sudden she thought she may not have the gas to go 40 metres. But Robinson, she did. Into the afternoon shadows of the goalpost, right underneath the black dot. Tear-away try for New South Wales. Well, that's just great credit to them. Exciting stuff, exciting footy and brilliant work. And there's the conversion right over the black dot here. So City leading by 10 points still over Victoria. Well, 2 tries in the space of 2 minutes here at Moreton Daly Stadium. What great show reels. Show reels galore. And that's the great thing about live streaming as well. You know, it's all about building that show reel for the women. It's always going to be archived on NRL.com for anybody to showcase their skills to any further talent scouts that may not be in here today. It's all about the tape. So we're back underway for Victoria. And they punch this well downfield into the waiting arms of Hopkins, who sends it across this time to Payne. Now just laying down over the top for too long for the referee's likings, as they're going to get a penalty here right on the 40-metre line, and Sherrington is going to take the tap and reset the tackle count here for New South Wales, as Hennessy just a couple of metres over the Victorian end of the field. Back there now to Jerrington. Back to Payne. Rambling inside the 20, isn't she? Always hard to put on her back. From Jerrington to Hopkins. Good ball. Robinson. Oh, Whelan has just put a foot over the sideline here. Well, she didn't have much room to work, did she? As we have a look at the Harvey Norman replay here. Just take a look at that beautiful ball, and then all of a sudden, there was the foot. Touch judge was Johnny on the spot. Did well there to identify that right leg, the foot of Whelan. So 10 minutes remaining in the first half of footy. You see Victoria coming back into the defensive line and put away there by New South Wales, Big Kennedy. Now this time the ball's gone back towards the 10-metre line, so it's got to go away and be scooped up there by Claudia Gunnerman. Did well there. She offloaded to Big Matu. Look at this beautiful run. Come and get me. Wow, how many questions was she answering there for Big Duckett? Duckett came up with the final say though. Here's Kidwell. Payne gets off her. Looking to come to the edge here. No way through Robinson's tackle. They need a good kick. Moore providing that. This time splitting the fullback and the winger. Nice placement of the kick. Going down now to Hiku. Speed to burn down the sideline. Big step, big palm. Look at her go. Fine athlete, fine offload. Great try. Cass under the post for New South Wales. Oh, spectacular rugby league here in the Harvey Norman National Championships. Well, how good was that? Where do we start the replay? We'll start it from right when she got the ball. Look at this. Inside of 40, the big don't argue on Daniel. Down the touchline. Got away from Moore. Look at this beautiful little dab pass. And Zoe Cass finishes it off in grand fashion for New South Wales City. Thank you very much. Well, how good was that? We're going to put together tremendous highlights throughout the entire tournament, but I think we've got 40 minutes of highlights on day one. It's had everything. We talk about highlights as far as tries go, but I think we'll have to divide the categories up. The tackles, the hits, the kicks, they've been all beauties. The kicking, exceptional from everybody today. And I don't say that on a light note. We've seen kicks from every corner of the park here today. From the sidelines, from the 20s to the 30s. We've seen it all. And I think we're, this is just at the top of my head, we're pretty much running at, 80, 90% capacity? It's been a tremendous day. Hope you're really enjoying this. All thanks to our friends at Harvey Norman, the NRL Women's Premiership. And don't forget, we've got the New South Wales Rugby League, Harvey Norman Monday Night Rugby League as well. And the corresponding state clash up here is the BHP Premiership. Both rugby league associations doing great things with live streaming and bringing the game to the fans of rugby league, just like the NRL here today. NRL have been live streaming, of course, way back. I think our first game of live streaming was back in 2014. I think it was when we actually ended up going down to WIN Stadium for the Gillaroos versus the New Zealand Ferns game. The privilege of calling that one, nearly 7 years ago. That's when it all started, this rugby league streaming. Robinson, she was fairly fresh back in 2014, dreaming of possibly playing NRLW. Sherrington gets there. She's loving it. Look at that huge smile. There's smiles all around for New South Wales City. And this is why they keep on giving us that huge Colgate smile at every opportunity. Just brilliant. Ruben Sherrington putting her name up in lights for the first time today. And she was just looking around, and her opposite number in Brabourne couldn't even go with her on that occasion. Just pure strength. And now she's got the opportunity, folks, to convert her own try from 20 metres in. Our cameras take you right behind the kick, and that's that new stadium, the new grandstand down there on the northern side. We're broadcasting from the western side today, but that's the new stadium. Doesn't it look an absolute treat? Kicking into it, Sherrington, and just skewing this one to the left-hand side of the post. So 5 minutes remaining in the first half of football. New South Wales leading Victoria by 20 points to 0. And welcome back to the Harvey Norman National Championships for 2021. Dominant lead for New South Wales by 20 points to 0. Just mentioned there the QRL and the New South Wales Rugby League tournaments. Well, that's heating up with every opportunity as well. We'll get to that in a moment, but we see a mistake here by New South Wales right on their own 40. We've got the BHP Indigenous round coming up in the Queensland Rugby League. The live stream will be at Robinia on Saturday. It's on the qrl.com.au website as we see now the mistake here on the 20. Just allowing for Victoria to get a taste of what is yet to come for them. Haven't seen much of the attacking ball, have they, inside this end of the field? We'll be on air on the qrl.com.au website on Saturday from Robinia Stadium on the Gold Coast. It'll be the Burleigh Bears versus the Valerie Diehards. 12:30 on qrl.com.au, just supporting the great game of what the women are constantly coming up with week in, week out. And of course, New South Wales Rugby League with their competitions on a Monday night at the Centre of Excellence. So this is where the scrum's going to be forming. Right on the 30-metre line, and Hopkins putting it in for Duckett to come away with it. Inside the 10, says our referee. As Hopkins, she wants to get it on with things as much as possible here. She puts the left boot to the footy and heads towards the Des Webb stand. So that's where we are, right on the halfway line. So Sherrington's about to take the tap. Give him back away to Duckett. Now this is Cass. She's right on the 20. There's Kennedy finding Dimmick. Kidwell stopping her right on the 20-metre line. As Kennedy finding Hopkins. Hiku throws the dummy. Here's another one to Robinson. Pure strength. But give credit to Hiku. She's about to come onto the screen now on our nrl.com.au replay. Here she is here chiming in. Big dummy. Ah, how brilliant. Andy Robinson gets her second try of the afternoon for New South Wales. And they go up by 24 points to 0. And we've still got just over 1.5 minutes remaining in our first game of the under-19s today. Of course, we'll have two 20-minute halves for the next 4 games. Coming up after this, we'll see the Queensland Rugby League Sapphires take on Western Australia. That game's going to be placed at 1 o'clock. We'll just see this kick just pushed to the right-hand side. So no change, 24 points to 0. So we'll see a double header of Queensland Rugby League actually at 1 o'clock. So we'll see the Sapphires taking on Western Australia. And then that will go into the Queensland Rubies versus South Australia. And then we'll have our final match at 3 o'clock later today, featuring New South Wales Rugby League Country. They're taking on the Northern Territory in the 19s. Tomorrow, of course, we won't get too sidetracked with what's to come because there's plenty of action, but tomorrow it's pretty much the same format. We start underway at 9:30, we go through till 3. Saturday, we go into semi-final football. And then, of course, we have our grand final day live and exclusive on Sunday afternoon. So plenty of rugby league up here at Redcliffe, here in the beautiful state of Queensland. And the picture clear skies. Very warm day for our athletes today, but they're putting on an absolute spectacle. No fuss Here's Cass. Dishing it up to Kennedy. Now to Dimmick. Good offload. They've got to tackle them. Robinson again. Good ball. Hopkins back to Robinson. Oh, that's a hat trick. A hat trick in the first half of footy. Ah, well done. Robinson. Gee, she's been on the end of some beauties today, hasn't she? Perhaps no better than this. Look at that beautiful ball. In and out. Back to Robinson. Ah, what a class act. Andy Robinson. The talent scouts are out, and I'm pretty sure they've got your name in the book, along with several hundred more. It's just been a classy morning heading into our afternoon of rugby league here. The fans are coming through the gates. And speaking of fans, if you are in the area over the next 3 days, let everybody know, come on down to Moreton Daily Stadium. We get underway pretty much every day at 9:30 through to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Just brilliant rugby league. So it's half time here, folks. What a dominant lead after 20 minutes. It's New South Wales City leading by 30 points to nil over Victoria. Just a great opportunity for everyone today to be seen and to have that opportunity, I guess, to be selected in other teams and other prestigious competitions right throughout Australia moving forward. Just take a look at the likes of Julia Robinson over the years. The rise of Julia Robinson. I mean, she played for the Australian Defence Force as a winger. She's a current Harvey Norman Queensland Maroons representative, and she knows how important this tournament was to her development, and what a great inspirational story, a great narrative. And don't forget, speaking of narratives, you'll be able to read about and all of the match reports. Alicia Newton from NRL.com is in the house, doing a great job as far as promoting women's rugby league at the National Rugby League. Fantastic to have the option to click on today to live stream this brilliant occasion. Festival atmosphere, 4 days. 4 days will be live on air now. I think they've just lost the football here. Yes, they have. It was Kidwell just trying to get a quick play the ball away, but in doing so, the ball's just fallen through her possession as we go to the Harvey Norman replay. There it is there. She's not happy with herself. Handshakes all around there by the New South Wales team in Tegan Dimmick. So it looks like Wilson's going to drop into the second row. So another chance now for New South Wales. Immediately in the second half of footy. This time Duckett's got to go away, and referee's going to call it up here. Zokas just turns over the footy. Back to Victoria. Yeah, as I said, the competition, just tremendous exposure for the girls. You just never know who might be watching our live stream today. As I said, we've got plenty of amazing selectors and high profile coaches who are at the competition, not just today, but here for the next 3 days to view the next girls coming through. As I said, there's plenty of talent to choose from. Our game of rugby league, it's especially in safe hands. We always knew that. We speak about moments of change for the women's game in rugby league, and I had a good chat last week on the Queensland Rugby League live stream, and I'm just going to mention that briefly, but we'll just stick with the play here as Victoria look to go up over the halfway line, and they're through. Great tackle by Cass. Brings her down a couple of metres away inside the New South Wales half. Comes back away to Moore. She now finds Udagala. driven backwards. But go forward. Here's Kidwell pushing this high into the air. But falling nicely for Binding, who has picked up a try here today in the championships. And Robinson, well, she's picked up 3 tries. There was Whelan playing it back. Yeah, I had a chat on the QRL live stream last week when we do the BHP Premiership up here, and was joined by ex-Jillaroo as we see the ball coming through the middle corridor here through Cherrington. Just stick with this again. It's fast pace, isn't it? Here's Wilson, goes to the line, looking around, takes the tackle there of Daniel. Just outside the 20, back from Cherrington. Here's Dimmick, providing good impact with her big surges. Giving back away now to Kennedy. Here comes the kick. Can they get the chase? Oh, Whelan. She was right on the spot if that ball was going to sit up. It just goes over the touchline in goal as we go to the Harvey Norman replay. Just take a look at this superb kick off the right boot. The breeze is coming across the field. Just couldn't find the possession of Jessica Whelan. But yeah, Joe Barrett, of course, everybody up here in Queensland knows Joe. Queensland Maroons, ex-Jillaroo. We had a great chat last week, so go onto the qrl.com.au website and find that game, because we talk about the light bulb moments that made the sport it is today. And Joe pretty much gave a great perspective of where she thought the changing points come and what is in the future pipeline for women's rugby league. And we know that there's plenty to come for sure. And speaking of plenty to come, we've got the Origin. Let's not forget the Origin in a few weeks' time too. We'll see a good ball. Going back away now, it's Whelan. But yeah, the State of Origin, Sunshine Coast Stadium. Don't forget, on the 25th of June. So it's not too far away, is it? And if you haven't got tickets now, please get on to nrl.com/tickets to secure your entry to what is going to be another terrific event. The Ampol Women's State of Origin for 2021. It's live and it is in Queensland. The Sunshine Coast Stadium. What a great stadium that is. Fairly intimate. You're right on the playing surface. Just going to be a fantastic occasion. So put that down in your diary. The 25th of June, 2001. Only 4 or 5 weeks away. So that's where we're situated, right on the 30-metre line. So good go forward here by Victoria as they look to come up the short side, but they've been thrown over the sideline here. Well, there you go. Big push and shove. Very effective. As we go to the nrl.com.au replay, this is how it unfolded. Look at this scrambling cover over the top. Oh, how good was that? Thanks to Andy Robinson. She's been everywhere, hasn't she? She's not scoring tries. She's throwing opposition players over the sideline with her terrific force. So we've got a penalty here inside the 10. As New South Wales City look to not muck around whatsoever here. They know that 30 points to nil is not enough for them. They want more. Here's Dimmick. That's Cherrington. Dishing it away. Ruscia straight through the middle. Bingo. Straight over she goes. First try of the second half. And it's 34 points to nil over Victoria. Let's check it out on the replay. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Great vision. And just look at this. 1 on 3. But the attacker wins the day. Superb play. So Harvey Norman From grassroots to rising stars and elite athletes, Harvey Norman supports women in sport through every pathway. For the very best in innovation, lifestyle and technology solutions, visit harveynorman.com.au or call 1300 GO HARVEY for your local store. And for your rugby league action, don't forget nrl.com.au. Here's the kick now from 20 metres in from touch. Off the boot there of Whelan. She's bringing it back around, but just not enough to go over the black dot. But does it really matter at 34 points to nil? They certainly don't think it is. Victoria, what do they have to do to get themselves back into this one? Is it a little bit too late? Well, there's still 11 minutes to go. Anything can happen, but it's all in front of them. We'll take a break and we'll be back here for the final 11 minutes when we get back to the kickoff. We're coming back now to the kickoff, back here at the stadium, here in beautiful downtown Redcliffe, right on the bay. One of the most picturesque grounds going around in rugby league. Of course, I'd say the Central Coast Stadium probably wins it as far as the view out to the bay goes down there on the Central Coast, but this one's up there as well, just behind the New South Wales side coming away from the right. We've got the beautiful bays, the beautiful marinas, the yachts. Just a sensational part of the world up here on the northern fringe of Brisbane. Nice pleasant journey out from the Brisbane city, only 40-45 minutes from the Brisbane CBD. Talking of Brisbane CBD, it's alive and well. Great atmosphere. As we see now, the ball comes away to the big number 6 again in Yaramuma. Oh, she's just quite couldn't get that pass away. She was looking around, wasn't she, there for Robinson, but just couldn't find Andy on that occasion. So a scrum will pack down as we go to the replay. Here she is there, just trying to see what she could do with the footy. But in the meantime, the defence was coming after her, and she certainly generates a lot of contact in D. That's for sure. The big number 6. So don't forget tomorrow, folks, from day 2, we're on air live from 9:30 again, all the way through to 3. Day 3, of course, Saturday the 22nd of May, will be on air from 9:30 till 3 again. And then day 4, well, that's grand final day. You won't want to miss that one. Live on air from 10 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, we'll have the Open Age National Final. And then at 1:15, we'll have the Under-19s National Final. Of course, that'll feature the first Pool A side versus the first Pool B side. So what a big 4 days of rugby league coming your way right here on NRL.com. So that's where we are on the halfway line, just waiting to put the footy into the scrum. The big number 14 for New South Wales is about to do just that. That's Wilson. Hansey. Everyone knows her name. Here's Sherrington. Everyone's getting to know her name with these impressive scoots from dummy half. Here she comes again. The juggernaut. Back to Payne. Goliason knows the impact. Look at this floater. Duckett. Weaving. Taken down only a couple of metres away. Sherrington onto Payne. And there she goes over. Another try for New South Wales. And another one for the selectors who are in here today to see what player they're going to put in their tiny little red book. Could it be this woman? She hasn't put a foot wrong. And Whelan, hasn't she been sensational with the kicks? And she's about to have another one. Will their total after this head to 40? 7 minutes to go. Will they be going for half a century? Anything's possible here at the championships. Whelan just strikes it to the right-hand side. So no change on our NRL.com.au scoreboard. New South Wales City thumping lead by 38 points to nil over Victoria. And Victoria, well, they're in no rush to get us back underway. They're still back in the in goal area, as you can see on your laptop. Your big inch screens. They're nowhere in sight, are they? They're nowhere in sight. Where is Victoria? Here they come now. They're just about to filter back left-hand side of the picture. Led by the big number 8 in Pacoca. There she is. 6 minutes to go in our first pool game. Let everybody know, folks, if you've got friends and family up here in Queensland, we stand by for the Queensland Sapphires. They're the next one at 1 o'clock. About to hit the field against Western Australia. So the Queensland Rugby League Sapphires are in the building and they're about to take on Western Australia. That game coming your way from 1 o'clock. So in about 15 minutes time from now. So this is the biggest margin we've had since 9:30 this morning, since our first game. They've been pretty tight up until now. Might just take you through the card. This morning, of course, we got underway at 9:30. Congratulations to the Northern Territory getting up over South Australia by 6 points to nil. The First Nation Gems demolished Northern Territory in the second clash, 16-0. First Nations Gems 12, Victoria 4. We ended up seeing the ADF defeat Victoria by 12 points to 4. And then the ADF went down to Western Australia by 6 points to nil. So those are the games unplayed this morning in our opens. So there's Cherrington again. Always looking around, finding Big Payne. Back to Dimmick. Takes it across the 40-metre line. The pitchers go with them. Last tackle now. They were in. No, I'd probably say they were pretty much in line with the kicker, but it doesn't matter as we see Victoria coming down with it. So the referee didn't have to worry about whether they were offside or not if they were to get to the footy. New South Wales as Victoria come away with it. Right on their own 20-metre line as we see now Big Burgess. Taken sideways here by Payne. So Victoria running left to right in this second half. Inside the last 4 minutes before we see the Queensland Rugby League Sapphires take to the field against Western Australia. Victoria just coming up with another fundamental error here, but credit where credit's due to New South Wales City. They're just hitting with tremendous force. And Victoria are a little bit, well, they're totally in shell shock mode, I think one might say here. Just can't quite get it going, can they? At the moment. So Anika Wilson about to drop this into the middle of the scrum. Comes from Cherrington onto Duckett. So that's the 30-metre line. So Ruben Cherrington again. Rasha Fuasahuli. Oh, look at her go. Inside the 10. Numbers to the left. New South Wales on the attack. Distributing the footy. Great. Wilson. Oh, she's in. Another try to New South Wales. This time it's big Anika Wilson. Crashing away through the defensive line as we're about to have a look here on the Harvey Norman replay thanks to NRL.com. There she goes, the big number 12 puts her name up on the scoreboard for the first time here today. And New South Wales, well, with 2.5 minutes remaining, if the kick's successful, they could well be on their way to 50. But that all falls for Whelan. 20 metres out from her own line. About to strike it. Looking to bring this one back around, but just pushed a little bit to the right-hand side of the post. So no change here on the NRL.com.au scoreboard. New South Wales City, an impressive stanza after 38 minutes, leading by a margin of 42 points to nil. So if we just look to the right-hand side of our open-air commentary box here, I can see the Queensland Rugby League Sapphires about to warm. Well, they're just going out now to warm up, and Western Australia not too far behind them, just going to the adjacent oval. But what a great time to be up in Queensland. The Championship's just a tremendous opportunity in identifying emerging talent from right across Australia. Those 4 days that we've got coming up, folks, it's just going to create a pathway for our most talented women to reach the top of our great game of rugby league. That's what it pretty much comes down to. You know, the championships this year have expanded to 14 teams. Over 300 players are up here in Redcliffe. 300 names over the next 4 days. We're going to know a lot of those 300. I'll tell you that come grand final day on Sunday. They are the future right here in the National Rugby League, in the NRLW, the Harvey Norman in New South Wales, and the BHP Premiership up here in Queensland. Great pathway system. That's Wilson. That's Cherrington. With the penalty right in underneath the sticks. Not back onside, not back on their own goal line. Here, Victoria. So Cherrington here. Well, they'd love another try with 5 seconds remaining. Are they about to get it? Varkey with the siren in the background. She reaches out and she gets it. Right on the bell. Oh, look at the celebrations from Duckett. Well, I don't know if the bell gave her a little bit more inspiration, but I'll tell you what, she knew she wanted to try before going back to the dressing sheds, and this is how she's done it. Threw off 4, 5, 6. Oh, how easy. It's just a walk in the park for New South Wales. Incredible. Well, they've got the 46 and they're about to get the 48 if the kick is successful. Just shy to the half century, but boy, they will be very impressive with what they're throwing up here in the national championships. Here's Cherrington now. Look at this shot. Beautiful shot. The cameras are doing all the work from the high grandstand. Look at the players just wheeling this over the line. The breeze behind her. Kicks it, hits it, likes it. Sensational. And look at all her teammates going over to congratulate her on a fine day. And now this is sportsmanship at its absolute finest for New South Wales City, going across to their Victorian counterparts and saying, don't worry about it. Yes, we got up by 48 points to nil, but the scoreboard does not matter.